there is very much of this life, death, life idea, concept. It's very... The death of Rabin, I think, really has taken the state of Israel to a level that is even more insightful. They're having to work even harder at their beliefs. They're having to reevaluate. And I think that this is going to affect all of us. Certainly politicians and the economic thing and so on, the oil in the Gulf and that kind of thing are part of it. But it's more than that, really. It's about re-examining how we feel about things. And Israel, in many ways, is the cradle of Western civilization in the sense that we think of, the Bible and Christ and all of the things that started in Israel. So we really have a strong attachment also from an emotional, spiritual point of view to the state of Israel. And I think that, their struggle and what they're all examining now is something that's very much a part of all of our worries and fears. I don't know if you've listened to the news about the fact that, there's been a strong feeling comparison between his assassination and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And definitely Kennedy was someone that, affected people on a global level.
And continues to affect. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I think Rabin's death, is again the same kind of thing. And even though I don't like the idea of martyrdom, I think that he was a Pisces. He was born March 1st, 1922, and the sign of Pisces is a little bit about the nature of martyrdom and how one gives one's spirit for the collective and going back into the collective. And I think that he was someone that has really given people that sense of the collective. Many people identified with him. Of course, the sad part is that more have identified with him in his death than in his life. But nevertheless, it's an important point that his death has allowed us to think about with more focus. And in terms of the state of Israel, with it having been born during the sign of Taurus in May of 1948, I think that there will be a rebirth in Israel, probably next spring. There will be new ideas and concepts and so on that will evolve out of this. And I'm quite positive. I believe that there's been a lot of pain, and that now there's going to be some.
I want to ask you that, Mary Michele. It seems like it's been such a tumultuous year between the Oklahoma City bombing and now the assassination of Rabin. It seems like there's been a lot of unrest. For 96, can we see an easing out of this finally?
Well, the nature of these big trends are that there are going to be certain people in certain situations that may not make it to the next rebirth cycle. But, when you think of death, you have to think of death as being something that is going back into a greater whole. No matter how it is that you see death is something that is not, it's not finite. I mean, it's finite in the sense that, you won't be able to come back and so on. But in terms of the earth and the cycles of the earth, there's always a change. Every day brings a change. When you go to sleep at night, it's kind of like a little death, and you wake up and there's new beginnings. And I think these things that have happened in the past year, whether it was in Japan with the Buddhist priest who caused these horrific things on the subways, the problems that have happened in this country, in Oklahoma, the earthquakes, all of these things are kind of literally shaking us up. And I think that these 7 planets in Sagittarius, this is what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to reflect on these tragedies and see them as ways to regroup and reorganize and restructure. But there is probably going to be a bit more of this tumultuousness because I think that man doesn't learn easily. It's, we have to repeat our mistakes many times before we finally get it. It doesn't mean that we won't. I mean, I definitely feel we will. It takes time. And I think as long as we can keep that in mind, and when things go a little wrong, just in your daily routines and so on, allow yourself to get angry, allow yourself to feel all of those different things that you feel, but then recognize that too will change. Your mood will change. You will feel better. Things will, have a different light put on them, even within the space of an hour.
Okay, that sounds great, and I'm hoping that hard lessons will be taught and learned very deeply for 96. We're here at WVIP taking your calls. Mary Michele's in the studio. We're going to take another quick break, but stay where you are and get on that phone, 241-1310. We're taking your calls today, and we'll be right back with you after these quick messages.
Hey, your car's awfully dirty. Why don't you take it in for a wash?
Well, there's no decent place around.
Haven't you heard about the change? Everybody's talking about Splash, the hand wash of Bedford Hills.
Oh, I used to go to this place in Bedford Hills, but it was...
No, they've completely redone the place. They vacuum your car, they hand detail the wheels. These guys massage your car with lamb's wool mitts, thick foaming soaps, while you watch from their new gallery and store. Your car goes through this great touchless dryer, and then they towel dry it. They do the windows, they dust the dash. They even wipe off your door jambs.
They really do all that? Do you need an appointment?
No, it's while you wait because it's on conveyor. It takes only 10 minutes and all for just $12.75.
I've got to see this.
Yeah, go get splashed. It's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Splash, the hand wash of Bedford Hills, is located at 527 North Bedford Road. That's Route 117, across from the Bedford Barn. Phone number 241-2266. Mention this ad before November 15th and get $2 off.
WVIP. WVIP.
Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to rent a new Toyota.
No, Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to buy or lease a new Toyota.
Right. Toyota North is also a great place to rent a new Toyota.
Buy or lease.
That's correct, but now you can rent a Toyota from Toyota North for a day, a week, a month, or even a half day. Also special low weekend rates.
Look, Toyota North in Mount Kisco has had a reputation for fair and honest pricing and extraordinary customer service for over 25 years. It's a great place to buy or lease a Toyota. Just ask a Toyota North customer.
I know, and isn't it great that now you can rent a Toyota, even Camry wagons from Toyota North, and still get that famous friendly service and more than competitive rental rates, even insurance replacement rates when your car's out of commission.
You mean you can rent a Toyota at Toyota North?
Right.
Competitive rate, daily, weekly, monthly, even half-day and low weekend rates, and that super nice Toyota North service, too?
Absolutely.
It's like I've been trying to tell you. Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to rent a Toyota.
Toyota North, Sawmill Parkway, Kisco Avenue, exit Mount Kisco, New York.
WVIP 1310 AM and cable channel 12. We're here with Mary Michele. We have her live and alive in our studios. We're taking your calls today, 241-1310, for your astrological predictions. And we have someone on the line, Rosalie. Her birthday is 1931, October 21st. Hello, Rosalie. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Hi, Rosalie.
Hello.
You have a question for Mary Michele today?
Yes, I'm in a little financial bind, and we put up our house for sale, and if we're going to sell.
You want to know if the house is going to sell?
Right.
October 21, 1931. Okay. You have the sun in Libra, as you know, and the moon in Pisces. Mercury in Libra, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. Has the house been on the market for some time?
A few weeks.
A few weeks. I think there will be activity, towards the end of the month, the end of November, around the house. How badly do you need to sell it? Do you need to sell it before the first of the year?
Well, yes, it makes it easier for us. The more we stay, the more we're in debt.
Well, I think if you want to negotiate a deal, if something comes up towards the end of November, the end of November through around the 15th of December is a good time to, if you need to lower the price a little bit to get what you need. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think any kind of negotiation, it's a good time to do that. And usually I know when you set a price, you have to come down a little bit, right? So I think that will be a good time to do it. Where are you going to move to? Hello? Are you there?
I'm sorry, Rosalie is off the line. I'm hoping that she's going to call back momentarily. Rosalie, if you're out there, give us a call back. Oh, I think she's back on the line. Just hold 1 second, Mary Michele. Is that Rosalie? Hold on 1 second. Here we have her. Sorry about that. I'm waiting on Tina here. Tina, is that Rosalie on the line? We'll take Martha on too then. Sorry about that, Rosalie. Don't mean to disappoint you. If you can, please call us back. Martha, are you there? Martha? Martha?
Yes?
Hi, how are you today? Sorry about that. Martha's birthday, 1947, October 23rd. How are you, Martha? What's your question for Mary Michele today?
Well, I'm facing a lot of change in my life, in my work life, and in my personal life, and I'm wondering how I'm going to absorb the changes, if I'm going to be able to get through them.
October 23rd, 1947. Okay, you have the moon in Aquarius, so there is a harmonious angle between the sun and the moon. The moon in Aquarius is about the way that you deal with daily routines is you like new, unusual daily routines. You always are a little thinking ahead in the way that you manifest. It also means that the nature of mothering, the way that you were mothered, was perhaps a little abrupt, but at the same time interesting. It was always interesting. There was lots of stimulation, mental stimulation. But the areas of security, the way we normally think of mothering, it wasn't exactly like that. But the sun in Libra goes well with it, so it's a good combination. This air, it's a trine. You have Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio. So this is this, intensity of trying to understand things. Mercury, particularly the mind, it makes you the great detective, kind of like my Sherlock Holmes hat today. And I think that you're very good at ferreting out and finding what is at the bottom of things. Venus in Scorpio, this, makes for quite a bit of passion. It's squaring Mars, so it makes relationship issues difficult. There's a push-pull always between the feminine and the, well, it's not a push-pull, that's an opposition. This is a square. It's really like boxing between the male side of yourself and the female side of yourself. Jupiter in Scorpio helps you with these things. I think, all these planets in Scorpio, as I said earlier, I've said a lot today, Pluto is moving on into the sign of Sagittarius. So a lot of these struggles that you've had that have really been going on for the last 10 years, having to do with your emotional life, your mental life, and the way in which you expand, it's going to change. It's going to change today. There's going to be a whole new way of looking at things, and you're going to be very much in keeping with the new ideas and new concepts that come about in January when the planet Uranus goes into the sign of Aquarius, because that will be your moon. It'll be on top of your moon. So you're going to have lots of new ideas and new concepts. And I think that you have to do what you love. You have to get closer and closer to what it is that you love, because life is short, and we need to do what we care about. So my hope for you would be that you would get closer to what it is that you love to do and to go do that.
Thank you for calling, Martha. We have Rosalie back. Martha, thank you so much for being with us today. Let me get Rosalie here. Rosalie, hi.
Hi.
Sorry I cut you off there. I think it was me. Sorry about that. I'll give you her birth date again, Mary Michele. 1931, October 21st.
Okay. October 31. Sorry.
And Rosalie was calling about the sale of her house.
Right, exactly. I remember. Okay, October 21. Right. I think that you need to do something about this in the end of November, the beginning of December, but I don't think that you're going to feel happy about your financial situation until April of next year. It doesn't mean that things won't get better. I think you probably will sell the house and things will go the way that you need for them to go. But you're going to need to take the time through until April of reevaluating values, and value is synonymous with money. What we value is money. So even though the sale of the house will probably go through, I think there's going to be some issues that you have to think about with this. Is that helpful?
Rosalie?
Yes, it is. It is. And what you spoke to the lady before, I'm kind of in that same sign, I think. Am I right? She was October 2.
Yes.
So I think that, what you told her, too, will help me, too.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling, Rosalie. And we have one more caller on the line. Busy today. This is Barbara. Barbara is from Somers. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Hey, good.
How you feeling today?
Good.
You have a question for Mary Michele? Her
Wait, I need a
birthday, 1952, July 31st. That's a great day. I don't know why. I always like July 31st.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why. Maybe because it's the height of summer, and I know I still have a month left to enjoy the weather. I don't know.
I like it.
Congratulations on being born on a great day.
Okay, so you were born with the sun in the sign of Leo and the moon in Scorpio. Laurie's a Leo, so she's...
Oh.
I'm flexing my muscles over here.
So there's a hard angle here between the sun and the moon. So there might be difficulties. You might have times that it's a little more difficult for you to trust your instincts. So it's something that you're going to have to consistently work on. You have Mercury in Leo, Venus in Leo. Oh my. Mars in how do you get? Do you have issues with females in your life? Do you have trouble with mothers or sisters or friends?
Silly, a little mother stuff.
Well, I think that probably has been going on for a while, and I think it's going to change now. You're probably having a little more insight about your mother. Do you think that's true?
Oh, I'm sure it's really true. I definitely do.
Yeah. Well, you're getting better at it all the time, and this in turn will help the way. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Would you like to?
I would have loved to, but I don't think I will.
Yeah. Well, do you work with children? Could you spend time with them?
I'm sorry?
Could you work with children? Could you spend time with them?
Good. I could, yeah.
Because the sign of Leo is the child, it represents the child. So it's always important for Leos to at some point or another, and you have, several planets in Leo, to spend time with children, because it reinstates your own child capabilities. Your own child instincts, and they're very positive. I think it's very, very difficult today with a lot of the different kinds of spiritualities that are not satisfying to people, and the nature of religion is that we need to play more. And Leo is something that can definitely help us do that. And I think you'll get the energy and the impetus to be able to do that by spending time with children. What kind of work do you do?
Registered nurse.
Oh, okay.
I deal with adults. I've wanted to do what you're talking about on a voluntary basis, though, not to get paid.
Right, but I think it would help it would revitalize you.
Yeah, fill that void.
Yes, exactly. I was reading an article the other day about how there are more and more people that are spending time, single parents that are choosing single people or people that don't have children to help them in the raising of their children. I have to go now. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you for calling. I'm sorry, we're almost out of time. And that was Barbara. Barbara, take care and good luck to you. You're watching WVIP 1310 AM and Cable Channel 12. We've just spent the last hour in the good graces of Mary Michele, and we want to wish you all a good weekend. Again, 1310 AM and Cable Channel 12, WVIP. We'll see you next week.
WVIP Mount Kisco.
From ABC News, I'm Doug Limerick. It's a federal holiday today, even though Veterans Day officially is tomorrow, but a lot of government workers may also get some time off next week. The government's run out of money on Tuesday. President Clinton's planning to veto stopgap spending legislation okayed by Congress.
He is not going to accept blackmail. He is not going to be forced into a decision that he disagrees with a gun virtually being held to his head.
Commerce Secretary Ron Brown, who says the Republican-sponsored stopgap bills won't cut it. Well, you can guess how the GOP's reacting. Speaker Gingrich wondered what Mr. Clinton studied in college.
Apparently went and took the course on political science about winning the office, and then skipped the course about being president.
If the government does shut down next Tuesday, essential services like mail service and air controllers will keep on operating. Major fire in Baltimore this morning, 11 alarms. An abandoned warehouse has been destroyed. As for the cause,
we're sort of speculating towards homeless people in the vacant building. There were some mattresses there. They could have been trying to keep warm and possibly using something to cook with. But our investigators haven't actually confirmed that yet.
No serious injuries. Associated Press reporter Linda Deutsch answered the phone last night. Who was it? O.J. Simpson. Said he had been pleased with the way the public's treated him since his acquittal. And as for all the controversy surrounding the trial,
he's obviously following the publicity, listening to talk shows, watching TV.
Did you hear about prosecutor Marcia Clark's book deal she signed? She's going to get more than $4 million. ABC's Greg Jarrett.
There's been a lot of speculation about what kind of deal Clark might make. Clark and co-prosecutor Christopher Darden signed with mega agent William Morris immediately following the trial to push their newfound marketability. Here in Los Angeles, word is the income for Clark will not end with the book deal. There may be a movie, speaking engagements, and much, much more.
You're listening to ABC News.
Now this is fabulous carpet. Hi, Bob Vila in the den of John and Maureen Levesque. You went to Sears. What did you think?
Oh, Bob, Sears made it so easy.
They took care of everything. It was great.
And the carpet is beautiful.
It sure is. You know, through Saturday at Sears, all carpet is on sale. Save $2 to $18 a square yard on the best brands. Stainmaster, Anzo Choice, Wear Dated, and Easy Living. Sale excludes buyer's best buys.
It's so comfortable. We love it.
All carpet on sale at Sears.
This is Barbara Walters.
And I'm Hugh Downs. Don't you wish there was a magic wand to get rid of wrinkles? Well, there may be.
The miracle treatment everyone's talking about.
Beauty and age can go together, and have wisdom, too.
See it for yourself tonight on 2020.
And he's the country's most outrageous radio personality.
What I'm doing is the Lord's work.
Howard Stern.
I'm hoping John Stossel will do the right thing and realize that I'm a genius.
Love him or hate him, you'll know more about him when 2020 takes you inside his world.
Don't miss this 2020. Tonight at 10, 9 Central on ABC TV.
Sometime during the next 30 days, all naval officers and sailors are ordered to do some introspection to think about how they deal with the opposite sex. That stems from the alleged incident in an airliner where a chief petty officer supposedly was all over a female sailor, grabbed and groped her while other sailors looked on. Admiral Mike Burda, Chief of Naval Operations, told ABC's Good Morning America that that day of reflection will deal with self-discipline.
We are going to talk not only about sexual harassment or issues relating to that, but we're going to talk about the wide spectrum of things that cause people to get in trouble.
Admiral Burda. The Union Pacific Railroad says it'll install safety equipment at that Illinois train crossing where 7 kids died in a bus train crash. The new equipment's supposed to give drivers extra warning of approaching trains. Search crews trying to find 2 missing mountain climbers on the Collier Glacier